very special Coach on Campus series here today at Mayor World School. This school rocks, yes or no? Yes. One of the top schools in the city, absolutely no doubt about that, setting new standards in education and excellence. And we're now moving on to something that worries all of you, whether those here in the room or those watching it on YouTube, and that is how to make a career that helps you achieve your highest potential. We'll take the first question.
How do you suggest students to figure out which field they're interested in?
Okay, how do we suggest students to figure out which careers might be best for them? And that's always a very tough call given the amount of options we have and the amount of confusion that naturally emerges out of it. Great question. Thank you.
What are the basic factors important for choosing the right career path for us?
Great. So how do we help students figure out the right career path? Basic factors. Thank you. That's a great question. Moving on.
What factors do we need to consider for picking the right career?
Okay. What factors do we need to consider for picking the right career? Thanks.
How to know which undergrad major or career path to choose when you haven't had any practical experience?
Okay, great question. I have no practical experience. What should I sign up for? Thank you.
Which stream is the most beneficial for the future?
Which stream is most beneficial? All right, thank you very much. Wouldn't we all want to know the answer to that, right? Which stream is the most beneficial? So I'll take all these 4 questions together simultaneously, if I may. Careers, how to figure out what to do. I have no practical exposure, so which should I choose, and which streams are the best? So my answer is this, very, very simple. I'm going to make it very simple. I'll break it down for you. You'll have to do exploration beforehand as much as you can. But consider this, you will not be able to see all the way very, very clearly. So this is the uncertainty that you must work with. You understand this? At your stage, what you want is crystal clear picture, right? Not going to happen. Unrealistic expectation. You travel from Jalandhar to Delhi in the night, NH1, National Highway 1, switch on the headlights of your car, how far do you see? Few meters, 10 feet, 20 feet, not that far. All right answers, right? Would it be realistic for me to expect, standing here in Jalandhar, I should see all the way clearly to Delhi? That's your career. So how do I cover that journey? How should I cover that journey? One step at a time. I move forward, what happens next? The next steps become visible. I step forward, then what happens? The next steps become visible. So, what undergrad should I choose? What will happen after that? You might go into something entirely different after. Your undergrad might be business, and then you might go into political science or data science. Your undergrad might be law, or your postgrad might be an MBA. Or you might not end up doing a postgrad because you don't feel the need to. You get the point? You might be studying to be a doctor, and then you might sit for the UPSC examination and make it through and might be an IPS officer, an IAS officer, who knows? So this is again the dynamic ability must come in. So a couple of things here to answer your question. Which stream is best for me? Pick out things that don't feel like work. I repeat again, Howard Thurman. Don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you come alive, and go and do that, because what the world needs is people who have come alive. You feel you're a good teacher, but you say, oh, teach, maybe, it's not a good profession because there's not, I would like to make X amount of money, but teachers are not getting that money. How about Byju's? Wasn't he a teacher? Do you know this? You don't? India's biggest edtech company that is a sponsor of the Indian cricket team, Mr. Ravindran Baju started as a teacher, helping his friends solve the CAT examination, which is the entrance exam for MBA programs in this country, for the top IIMs in this country. All right? That was Ravindran Baju. And then he realized he's such a good teacher, filled up a room, he taught in stadiums, my friends. The single guy. And then they launched an app, and then they launched a website. The rest is history. India's biggest edtech startup person was a teacher himself, son of 2 school teachers. In a Malayalam medium school in southern India, he's the son of 2 school teachers. That's where he comes from. Think about that. So, let me break it down for you. What does not feel like stress for you? What is stressful? And what is your natural ability? I'll give you an example. After 10th examination, I was third in the district at that point of time. Yeah, you can all clap for that, yes. Very kind audience. But it was relatively easy back then. So you would have a picture in the newspaper. Do you get that now too? Yeah, fantastic. I have mine saved. I don't like it that much, but I wish I would. I wish they would tell you back then photo kaise khichani hai. But anyway, picture taken third in the district, very good. You know, everybody's all surprised because I was not one of the teachers' top bets. Teachers have their own. They know, na, these 5, 6 are going to be my toppers. Who is this guy? Who is this Simerjeet Singh? Who is he? He just migrated from another school. He skipped grade 7th. He went straight from 6th to 8th. And he just came to our school. This is my school in Batala, in R. Baba DA. No, not R. Baba. That's a girls' college. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? R. Baba DA college is a girls' college. Anyway, my mom taught there, so I have a lot of association with that college in the right sort of way. And my school was called R.D. Khosla DAV Model School, where I went and then I joined mid-semester 10th grade. I was not on the list of the students that teachers would expect to top. However, surprise, surprise, they were in for a big surprise. Second in the class, third in the district, etc., etc. My principal said, "You've scored very well. I've already signed you up for non-medical. Non-medical mein aapka admission kar diya hai. This is the receipt, and don't worry, your family knows me. We'll take the admission free from them." I come back home. Okay, ma'am, thank you. This is how career decisions were made in my time. Huh? I don't know about you guys. I come home, I said non-medical. Okay, fine. Mom says, "Oh, city ke best physics teachers who hain. Let me call him." She calls the best physics teachers in the city. But you don't usually find spots in his tuition, but I have requested him. He will make sure there is one place for you. 5 a.m. tomorrow. Or 4:30, I think it was. I said, okay. My mom comes back home with books for physics, chemistry, and all that. I open the books and I see my purani dushmani hai, Jani Dushman X. Everywhere. X plus, this is my brain is going, oh my God. Anyway, I show up for the tuition the next morning, 5 a.m. and they're all talking. Some kids are very excited. We will launch a solar wave from here, from Earth. It will travel at this speed and it will bounce back from the moon and it will come back in this time. Some kids are fighting with each other, how much time it will take. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, what is wrong with you people? And then I'm thinking, there is probably something wrong with me. Why am I not so excited as these kids are? Muh latka ke ghar pahunch gaya. Your biggest tool to get your parents to agree with something, muh latka lo. So my mom asked me what's going on. I said, look, I don't think these subjects are for me. I've signed up for non-medical, but I don't think it's for me. So what do you want to do? I said, I don't know. I'm very confused. How many are confused? Raise your hands. You're confused. She said, okay, why don't you meet a few other people? How many of you do that? Meet other people from other subjects. So she took me to the best commerce professor in town, who was also a family friend. And he told me something very important. He said, Simar, it doesn't matter what field you're in as long as you're in the top 1%. I said, really? He said, yes. Even commerce? He said, yes. Putter koi fark nahi panda kis field mein ho, if you're in the top 1%. Take these books home, read them. These are commerce books for +1. If they make sense, come back to me. This is what happened. Theory and Practice of Management. Heard of that book? No? It was there back then. Frederick William Taylor was the author. My course book. I take it home, I open it, I read half of the book in the entire afternoon and it makes sense to me. It's like, wow, this is automatically making sense to me. I pick up accounts and I see 60 going here, 40 going here, minus 20, there is no X, right? Like, wow, this is making sense to me. I was not afraid of numbers. I was afraid of suppositions and algebra and other sort of things. So that's how I found it. Make unconventional choices, be able to go on that path. That really is the key. Discover your strengths. So my summary to the answer to this question of how to find the right career for you, reduce the expectation for a clear path ahead. Be dynamic, keep stepping forward, keep changing. Number 2, meet other people from other fields and see what's going on there. And if necessary, take those things into consideration and be open to change. Right? You don't have to be stuck into something for way too long. Be open with that perspective. Number 3, become problem solvers now, as I already said. How do you get to know without practical exposure? Get practical exposure. Go and meet those people. Find out how it actually works. And then you can make a more informed choice. Let me also say, because this is the end of the video, the informed choice might still not be the correct choice. Hear me loud and clearly. You may do all your research and you may pick something, and it's still possible that it may not be the best choice for you. But guess what? We are not living in the old India. We are living in the new economy. You can change. 10 years, you can rediscover. You can relaunch your careers into new direction. After spending 8 years in the hospitality industry, doing hotel management, which made me the person that I am today, worked with different top hotel companies of the world. 2007, I left that job. I quit that career and I moved into something brand new, which is my new avatar as a motivational speaker for some of the biggest corporations in this country and across the world. So you're never stuck. You are never stuck. You know why? Do you know why? This planet is not stuck. It's moving around its axis, and there's new people born every day. There's new people dying every day. Nature is not stuck. You don't have to be stuck. You're dynamic. You are God's biggest. If you see the pyramid, you see? We are right at the top of the pyramid. Who sits at the top of the pyramid? The best creations are always at the top of the pyramid. When bankers look at the pyramid of the country, say, oh, this is the bottom of the pyramid, and this is the top 1%. If we look at nature's pyramid, we are the Almighty's top creation. We can never be stuck. Thank you all. You've been a wonderful audience. We have another question coming up on career guidance, and it's got to be an important question because everybody's smiling already. So let's go.
Should I take the practical path or the passionate one for my career?
The practical or the passionate. Why are these opposing forces? Why would you divide them into two different categories? That's my question to you. Practical or passionate? Why is this like one country and the other, I need a visa?
What you might be passionate about is not something that's conventional.
And then what? Why can't I make a career out of it? Passion is not safe. Yeah, the true passion is never safe. Passion can get you killed. Ask those guys who jump from roofs and do all these stunts and all that. And but so you mean where them being practical, there is no passion at all? That's a sad, sad conclusion. Let me tell you that. Why would you come to that conclusion? Or where there is passion, I don't have to be practical at all? Like, I'm passionate for what I do. Don't you think I have my practical side that I switch on? I run a business, I manage a team, I have clients. There is another part of me that's practical, and there's part of me that's passionate. I'm passionate here. Do you think I'm like this in my office every day? Chirag smiling. Huh? No. Or do you think somebody who has a boring job is boring all day? It happens to them later. All right, no comments there. But here's the thing. I invite you to take a look at it from a different perspective. To not keep these two sides separate. To understand that somewhere they meet. And passion and practicality meet. And I have a perfect pyramid. And I have a perfect life. What is shown to us as passionate also has a practical side to it. Right? But problem is, when we look at social media or other things, we only see the what side of it? The passion side of it. Oh, there's only travel. There's no challenges in this guy's life. I want to do that. Look at me sitting in front of a computer screen and doing this. No. That guy is also probably doing this half of his working life. We don't see that. So we probably have been given the wrong image. Whether it's a sports person, whether it's an entrepreneur, whoever, we don't see the other side. So I invite you to consider you can have both. In a job where you have to be practical and which you might consider it monotonous, you can bring passion into it, right? You can bring new ideas into it. It's your mindset. When you become boring, your job becomes boring. When you become boring, your studies become boring. Let me give you a thing about studies here, how I made it interesting for me in 10th grade, and that was very helpful for me. I'm an auditory person. You know what that means? My learning style is auditory. Are you aware of your learning styles? Yeah? Yes, no? Yes. Some people are good visual learners. They'll look at something, they'll learn it better. Some are better auditory learners. They'll listen to something again and again, they'll grasp it. Some are more kinesthetic. Kinesthetic is they'll actually need to do it with their hands in order to understand that concept, right? And so these are different senses. Now, I sort of had an idea in grade 10th that I learn better when I can listen carefully. Sony Walkman, my dad gifted it to me back then, with a recording function, blank cassette tapes. That's what we used to get back in the year 1994. How many years ago is that? Huh? Are you, with that tone of voice, are you trying to tell me I'm old? Here's what I did. Biology, chemistry, history. I would highlight, once I highlighted the main parts, two things. I'm pretending newsreader, recording my own voice, my own notes, cassette full. What am I doing rest of the day? Early morning, I wake up, I'm taking a walk, I'm doing something, I got my headphone on. My entire recap is done in less than 40-50 minutes. In my own voice, in my own style, help me improve my communication skills and help me refresh my memory around the important concepts of this. You gotta find the hack here. Otherwise, study would have been very, very boring. I found a hack to do it. You can make anything a bit more fun. But as far as career choices go, please do not think that whatever is practical does not allow any passion. And do not think that whatever is passionate, whatever involves passion, does not have a practical side to it. You will need both in order to have a successful career. Thanks for asking that question.